Welcome back to In Pursuit of Purpose podcast. It is your host, O Bing, your favorite host of podcasting. We have a great season coming up for you, starting out with our very first guest. Stay tuned. You are in for a lucky treat. Once again, we're back with In Pursuit of Purpose podcast season 2. Where have you been? Where have I been is the question. I took a couple months off to do some investigating into the spiritual health and wellness community world. Been doing some traveling, been going in and out about different states, visiting different things, and just immersing myself inside of nature and connecting with good people. That's all about spiritual health and wellness, as I like to say, health and well-being. And so we are here, and we are getting ready to gear up for a great season. Starting out with our very first guest, I want you to sit tight because this is a great interview. We have for you coming up on the show. I'm about to introduce you to a young lady by the name of Lola Bonae. She is a health and wellness practitioner, a facilitator, multiple degrees and certifications inside the spiritual health and wellness community. She has nothing but knowledge, a wealth of knowledge to share with you. And I just really can't wait for you to hear her. The interview has been done over video, so you're going to hear a different change in tone once you hear the interview. But nonetheless, it was still a great interview. Just sit tight, tune in, and get ready for this growth because this is what we're about. Lola Bonae has also just blessed us, giving us her time. So I just want to be thankful of that, mindful of that, and just share this if you hear it, and just check her out. You know what I mean? Because this was, again, done over video, so don't worry about the difference in tone, but just be tuned in because it's still a good interview for the podcasting world. So here you go. Right now, I introduce you to Lola Bonae. All right. Welcome to In Pursuit of Purpose podcast season 2, episode 1. Yes, we are back for an exciting season. And I know it's been a while, but we had to make sure that we bring in some, formidable guests. We bring in people that's going to help us, elevate in our higher self, in our consciousness, in our health, in our holistic health and wellness self. Today, I have the pleasure of bringing onto the show because we're coming back into the platform of podcast. I'm bringing Nicole Lola Bonae Houston. She is the founder of LBL Health and Wellness. Oh my God. And there's just so much into that I want her to unpack. So without any further ado, I'm going to allow her to just, recenter herself into this podcast on this platform. Nicole, Lola, I know you as Lola. I'm going to call you Lola. It's nice to see you. Nice to have you on the show.
Nice.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you really wanting to do this. And, we've been knowing each other or kind of like, we've been around each other, for quite a little bit, couple of years, lots of 2, 3, 4 3 some years. And just to kind of introduce the people to the story behind why people always like, what made you choose this person or that person. More so, it's usually always because you know the person and the person has something to offer, right? And really quick going into it, I met you, Nicole, Lola. I met Lola at um, a event that was all about, it was a activist event. It was a black activist event, and I was a poet, and you were there too. And I'm not going to reveal something that you did there yet, because I'm going to tell that a little bit later, because that's
Okay.
like a secret hidden gem. But I met you there at this black activist event, and from that point on, we kind of just always saw each other around in the community. And I was always just, you kind of carry yourself in this very just well mannered, very humble way. And but you what they say, you walk light but carry a big stick, you
Thank you. I
know,
appreciate that.
and that's what you are. You walk light but you carry a big stick. Tell me, and to introduce yourself to the people a little bit more about what you do, because I kind of want to know that more so myself.
Okay. As you said, my name is Nicole Lola Bonae Houston. So the entire name goes like this. The government name is Nicole. However, I've been gifted this spiritual name of Lola. So a lot of times people know of me as Lola Bonae. In the community, that's a lot of times what I go by. Yeah, so I am a priestess first and
Mhm.
foremost. I study Afro Caribbean spiritual traditions, and that's where I got the name Lola from. I'm also a holistic health coach, a massage therapist, and a community organizer, as well as, like you said, I'm the owner of LPL Holistic Health and Wellness, and I'm also the co founder of the National Integrative um, Integrative Wellness Collective. So I'm really excited about that project too, and I want to talk to you about it later in the program. So that's just a little bit about me.
Oh wow, you have quite a bit on your plate, but you seem to manage it very well. Like, you seem to hold yourself together. You seem to glow, because you always, anytime I see you, you're glowing. And you kind of seem to carry yourself very well, even though you got all that on your plate. With this, first of all, I have to stop real quick and say I didn't know you was a priestess.
Oh,
Okay, and
it's not
that's
something I really gloat about. It's just the
yeah.
work that I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, a holistic practitioner. So I work with the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Uh-huh.
And from my perspective, being a holistic practitioner, that means you start with the spirit. So,
Uh-huh.
in pursuit of being a holistic practitioner to help other people, I definitely need to make sure that, I am in a place that I can help other people. So, I'm a priestess in the Egungun tradition.
Uh-huh.
Um, and some people might understand that if you practice Yoruba or Santeria, it essentially is a person who works with the ancestors.
Uh-huh.
So that's,
That's
my
nice.
elevation, and it's not something that I just go around and talk to people about. But if you have questions about it, or if you need readings or spiritual consultations, that's part of what I do as well.
That's pretty nice. Because I'm a prophet, I kind of like to say, and I'm just more of a. There's no religious connotation tied to it. It's just it is what it is in a sense, spiritually, however people want to tie something to it. But I believe that I was given the gift of prophecy, and so you been a priestess. That kind of makes sense to why you are into the holistic health, wellness, and practice. And tell me, where did you first start? By what made you get into holistic practice? Like, did the grandma teach you this? What made you get into the spirit? Because the spirit talks a lot about the self, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But what made you get into? the work of the spirit, the mind, and the body? Who did that for you?
Well, I've always been intuitive. I didn't grow up in this tradition. If you do know me as Nicole, you know that my family is very Southern and Baptist and Christian. So some people who might be watching this are learning a lot about me right now, even if I'm part of their family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So and the fact that I feel like I've always been intuitive. You know, there's always been that little voice. You know, some people call it intuition. Some people say it's your ancestor. Some people say it's your higher self. But I've always had that kind of spirit of discernment within me. And in undergrad, so when I was about 2021, I actually had the pleasure of becoming a student of my guru, who is Dr. Dana Denard, also known as Baba Kamal in Tallahassee. And that is actually when I first started meditating.
Mm-hmm.
And, a whole world just kind of opened up to me, and I opened up to myself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where this journey began. And it's been beautiful. It's been um, difficult at times, because if you are not, or if you're a first generation person who is taking this route or going back to self, then it can be kind of isolating at times. But understanding that this is the purpose of your soul and the journey that you're supposed to go on is like, it's a beautiful experience. So I'm really grateful for it. So, but that's where it started.
I can already tell that this conversation can go for about 4 hours, really, because
So much to
you,
say.
because you said something that touched home to me, and you spoke about how meditation opened up a whole nother world to you. And sometimes, because I'm a meditation, guide, I like to call myself a guide, you know what I'm saying? And I guide people in meditation, and sometimes it seems as if people don't know how to tap into that and into that being that's within themselves that can show them the other side, the other world, another level to themselves. Like share with people um what what it is that you get out of meditation. I think people should hear that, because for me, I can repeat myself, but they may need a second. They need a second voice on that.
I really love meditation because it's so individual and personalized. Even if we are in a guided meditation, your journey is your own, and it's very symbolic of, your walk through life, not to be in competition with other people, but to really just be the best you can be, tap into yourself. It also allows you to be vulnerable in a safe space. I really appreciate meditation because it brings clarity to me more than anything. And the more I do it, the more I feel my life comes together. Anytime I'm frazzled or something like that, I can honestly say is because there has been like a lapse in meditation, because I do it every day. If I get too busy or overworked or something like that, and I skip that time with myself, like checking into myself and connecting to that higher force, that connective force that connects all of us,
Uh-huh.
then I feel disconnected, quite literally, and then things just start to fall apart. I start to get confused, or I start to misread things, with my intuition. So bottom line, I think meditation is everything.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
allows you, and it depends on what you're meditating on, because people meditate all the time, and they think that because we say meditation, they're not doing it.
Yep, yep,
You
yep.
can either meditate intentionally, or you can meditate unconsciously. And a lot of times, especially during this time with coronavirus and worry and all of that kind of stuff, people are meditating, but they're meditating on the wrong things. So they're meditating on worries, they're meditating
Yep,
on
yep, yep.
how we're paying our bills, they're meditating on the negative aspect
Yeah.
instead of meditating with intention to make
Mm.
it happen and make things manifest in their life. So whether you believe it or not, sisters and brothers, you are meditating all the
Yes,
time,
yes,
constantly. What you
yes.
think about, what you do, these are meditations, so you need to make sure, not to be preachy, but
No, preach, 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 preach.
it's a good thing when you are consciously meditating instead of unconsciously worrying.
Yes, yes. You are preaching to the Ooh, you are preaching, girl. You are a priestess and you are preaching. You don't even know how many times like I've said those same things. I said to people, first of all, obeying is my name, my spirit name, obeying. And obeying in Africa, obeying is a name that comes from Ghana. It's an African sutra name for powerful. And so when I put obeying next to, with meditation, it means, powerful intentions to me. The sutra together would mean powerful intentions. You understand? And so obeying meditation, which is the initials of Om, you know what I'm saying? It's all about setting powerful intentions. And so as you were saying, we are meditating whether we know it or not, you know, and I just got done doing a 12-day meditation. And half of my 12-day meditation was really non-active. It was more so, just allowing things to just happen and be freely engaged with that. You know what I'm saying? And so people were like, they were looking for something to do for meditation. I was like, no, you don't have to. This is a meditation. You don't have to really do much. There's no activity involved. It's just let things happen. I had this one called allowing or flowing. And it's just letting things allow things to just unfold the way they supposed to unfold, and then receive and meditate on that. You understand? And so I look at meditation the same way. It's like you're either doing it intentionally or you're doing it unintentionally. And you don't have to always be sitting in a lotus style position to be doing meditation, because you're meditating on something, as you said, bills, worry, all of that. And that's my way of release. Meditation is the way I release, and I release through traveling. Sometimes when I don't have clarity, I like to get out. I like to go get on a bus, a Greyhound, a plane, and I like to go somewhere. I just like, let me get my peace back, my mind back, and I get into meditation. How do you release?
How do I release? Okay. The healthy way I release is definitely through meditation. There's a couple of ways that I have been able to deal with the stress of this current situation that we're all finding ourselves in, which is the isolation or quarantine of the social distancing associated with the coronavirus. So there's a couple of things that I've been doing personally to make a healthy way to manage and release some of the things that I'm feeling. So definitely through conscious meditating. Instead of meditating on worry, I intentionally, before I look at any social media or anything like that, before I, clock back into the system or whatever, I make some time for myself. So I do something that is going to be beneficial to me in the long run. Currently, right now, I'm working on my website. So using my time wisely to invest in myself. I am currently working from home, and I know that is a luxury that some people have. Unfortunately, some people don't have that. However, if you are one of those people who has been displaced by Corona, we are fortunate enough to live in a place where we have access to technology, right? And you have been granted the time, or we have been granted the time to make sure that we use it wisely. So if we have dreams, ambitions, like now is the time to actually like put that into to bring that to fruition and make sure we manifest that. So like I've been saying, for maybe the past like 6 months, I've been wanting to put my website together, and that's something that I've been doing. So investing time in myself, meditating. Myself and my son, I have a 7-year-old, and we like to be outside. We definitely are nature people. So one thing that we do every spring is to make a garden. And I live in an apartment, and I just have a little tiny balcony. However, we have like zucchini growing out there. We have melons. We have kale, like all of these things that are growing. and we tend them daily. So having some type of tactile activity that you do keeps you present in the moment and not worrying about what's going to happen next week or down the road or whatever. So that's definitely one way that I, release.
Do you have you know, this is a time right now that we're also in this time, the the CV-19. I'm trying not to call it out, you know what I mean? But because it's here, people are, social distancing, staying in the house, and that can lead to some bad practices. You know what I'm saying? Some unhealthy practices. Do you have any holistic tips, some wellness tips, something that people can do while being in home to manage like their let's say their weight or their mental state or their emotional well-being?
Right, definitely. There's lots of things that you can do. And first and foremost, taking a proactive stance on it instead of reactionary and, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to me? What am I going to do if I get it? Instead of taking that type of perspective, like number one, change your mentality. You know, an active form of meditation is affirmations. So I practice them daily. I do these with my son. It's very easy for even young children to develop this habit. And essentially, you just state what you want in this moment, right? And what you want to be. So if you wanted to say that you are healthy, that you are wealthy, that you are strong, these are happening in this moment. You're not worrying about what's moving forward. And that's being proactive about changing your mentality about what's going on right now. Also, you can be proactive and boosting your immune system. So while people are stuck in the house, I've seen all of these kinds of crazy memes because I like to laugh. And that's another reason or another way that I like to release. So sometimes I go on and watch all of the silly, TikToks or, little memes and stuff like that. And I've been seeing these memes where people, say where they go in quarantine, nice and slim, right? And then they come out and they've been eating all of these snacks.
I've seen some pictures, yeah. I've
Right?
seen some of those pictures.
Yeah, but another thing we can do to actually be proactive about the situation is make sure that we're feeding ourselves healthy things, right? So from your supplements, which include vitamin C, I'm also taking turmeric daily, echinacea. These things kind of boost your immune system. I know some people have elderberry. I couldn't get my hands on any right now, but elderberry is something as well that helps you to boost your immune system so you can stay healthy. So the focus is to stay healthy and not worry about, the illness or whatever else may come. Make sure we're staying positive, make sure we're staying progressive and actually doing things to help us maintain the health that we have. Another thing, is definitely tuning into some of our local fitness gurus. Sister Natasha from Tampa Bay Afro Fit. Make sure that you log on to her Facebook page because she actually does daily lives so that you can exercise with her in the morning. Fit Life, Sister Ashley John, she also does that as well. And I know plenty of other people who, even though they usually run like fitness classes, they're doing things online. So there's ways that you can still stay healthy. There's ways that you can still stay fit. And when you come out of quarantine, you're not like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
and it's tempting because I love snacks, but healthy ones.
Yeah, a smoothie. You know what I mean? A healthy smoothie or something like that.
Just put all your supplements in your smoothies. I drink tea every day. That's like floral tea every day with ginger, with turmeric in it. It's delicious.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I drink tea every day, and it's something calming about drinking tea every day, huh?
And on the inside, it helps you.
Yeah, it does. What do you fear about this coronavirus thing as far as your business and practice goes? Because you're a massage therapist.
Well, I am a massage therapist, but like I said, I'm staying ahead of things. I'm being positive and proactive. And that's just one of the services that I offer, massage therapy. And I offer many modalities. So when this is over, y'all come check me out. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
so
Definitely.
when this is over, I'll definitely be able to, because I work from a center that also, which is called the Meta Center in St. Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
And I am part of a group of therapists that kind of work together in a co-opted space.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do offer other services. So those
Mm-hmm.
kind of services can actually be can
So,
be acquired from a distance. So I'm also a holistic health coach. So as I'm
yeah.
giving these, tips or whatever, I can help people look at their goals, what they have for or what they want to accomplish with their mental, their physical, and their spiritual health. And then I'm like a concierge. So if I can't help you with it, then I find, the resources that you need to make sure that you are your healthiest and best self. So that's something I can do from a distance. I am also a spiritual advisor, so that's something I can do from a distance. And most of my clients, I used to have, and I'm gonna bring it back. Not used to have, but Mondays at Meta, where I did card readings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually developing right now more intuitive way of reading. So I haven't been taking clients just of yet, but it's something that I'm developing and growing stronger with every day. So that's something that can also be done from a distance. And then I am also a community organizer. So I
Mm-hmm.
have been organizing many, many activities. One with yourself in
Mm-hmm.
June, which we'll talk about later. Yes, um,
July, 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 July,
July. Sorry,
July. Yeah.
July.
That way we know that coronavirus thing is over.
Yes, very much.
the
In fact,
further away the better.
definitely. So organizing events for community health.
Yeah.
Um, Another event that's coming up is Healing While Black, and
Oh,
that's part of a collaboration that I have with The Well. So I
yeah.
also work with Dr. LaDonna Butler and The Well for Life.
Yeah.
And even though we're not able to meet in person for these things, we still
Mm-hmm.
can have virtual meetings via Zoom
Yeah.
or something like that. So I'm still very much active in that. And like I said earlier, I'm the co-founder of the National Integrative Wellness Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is actually an integrative collection of healing practitioners. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are a mental health therapist, a psychologist, um, a
I
massage
will.
therapist like myself, a Reiki healer, a
Okay.
sound therapist. There's so many modalities that we have for healing. But
Mm.
across the nation, we're actually building a directory of providers of many different ethnic backgrounds. However,
Yes.
we're focusing particularly on practitioners of color, because our aim is to serve those people who are underserved, and those populations are usually of people of color. So
Yes.
a lot of times when we see health disparities in communities, a lot of them have to do with racial inequality. And
Mm-hmm.
the National Integrative Wellness Collective is aiming to, break those barriers down. So I've definitely been working really hard to bring that to fruition. Please make sure that you check out our website. Again, it's the National Integrative Wellness Collective. And I hope
Mm-hmm.
you join, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking for people to join across the nation, because we
Yeah,
have.
I'm definitely gonna be joining. I'm definitely gonna be joining. I just met a man a couple days ago, but I've been knowing him for a while. But we really just introduced ourselves as far as what we do. His name is Dr. Abdel. Uh, Dr. Abdel. I can't even pronounce it. It's like Al Qanuf, but he's like he's like a Middle Eastern man,
Mhm.
and he's into he has a couple practices is into alternative health, and yeah, and so I think introducing you to him would be good, because I know that me and you have some similarities. I want to point out real quick. You do community organizing. I've also done a bunch of community organizing myself. You know what I mean? I led the 100+ Black men um, victory walk in October,
Beautiful.
and so being that we are always we kind of think Black first. We think our people. We want to make sure that we are offering ourselves up to ourselves first before we spread ourselves too thin,
Mm.
trying to get to everybody else. We trying to hit home. Are you strictly, or are you strictly in the business or helping Blacks? Could anybody come to you for service? Could anybody seek you
Anybody
out?
can come to me for service. Anybody
Mhm.
can come to me for service. I definitely don't discriminate or anything like that. However, one of my passions is to correct racial disparities, right?
Mhm.
Also, I am a product of a very Black community. So
Mhm.
starting at home, right, is where I have a passion and
Mhm.
what is important to me because I'm here. I see the disparities all around me. So I want to correct that, right? But then I also see a bigger picture and understanding the human condition and that
Mhm.
we're not, as Black people right here in St. Pete, we're not isolated to that. That's
Yeah.
another reason why the National Integrative Wellness Collective is going to go across the nation. We also see from the statistics in healthcare that there are various communities that are experiencing rate like disparities, right?
Mhm.
So not just Black people, even though sometimes we do have the worst health disparities, and that is another reason why it's my personal mission to come back and help my community because I
Mhm.
am a product of that. I want to make sure that we're good.
Mhm.
We continue to live our best and be our greatest, but anyone can come to me for services. However, my passion is definitely to correct those health disparities, and a large portion of those health disparities do come from racial inequality.
Right, and I'm witness, and I am a I don't say victim, but I am a child, a product of racial disparity. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the Black community, Black home. 8 kids my mama have, and being like basically I was the only boy, the only boy. But my brother, he came kind of last out of the 8 children,
Mhm.
and I was taking the blunt of the blow from the racial the racist, because I was the boy of my family, and
Mhm.
so I was taking a lot of being being called all kinds of names. Didn't matter. Monkey, N word, kook, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've heard it all, and
Mhm.
so I've been a product of that. But also turning around. See, this is what's important. I think people need to hear this.
Mhm.
Me myself having been a product of those type of racial disparities, and then you yourself seeing that, being in the community, involved deeply in that with racial disparities. I think it's important for people to know, and this is for all races, all colored people. When I'm speaking this, I think it's important for us to understand that we all need some form of healing from either, from you, from my sister, my brother's keeper, or from outside the community. But we need to. I think what it is, we need to start to, you know, stop limiting ourselves,
Right.
and in the capacity of how we can help. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because it took a tragic loss for me to understand. Um, it took a very tragic loss for me to understand, sympathy and empathy for others. And it wasn't until I lost, a son, that I was able to develop that emotion of sympathy, you
Right.
know, for people. And now, I can see different colors. I can see different race of people, ethnic backgrounds, and I can sympathize with certain people, you know, when they're going through real hard struggles in life,
Mhm.
because of that loss, and also because of being a product of those racial disparities, and it hurts, and it sucks being when somebody who's not used to that. It sucks when the shoe's on the other foot.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They say it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, and
Right.
it's just,
when you're not used to, see, we're used to that,
Mm-hmm.
so we know what it feels like. We know how to quickly manage and overcome
Mm-hmm.
because we're so used to it from generations and generations. But when it happens to somebody else, they don't even know what to do. What do they end up doing? They end up lashing out of anger, rage. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any answers or clues, and so they kind of lose themselves mentally and emotionally and spiritually. I think what I'm saying here is that what we have to offer people, you know, we have to look at, where we come from, the pain that comes with it, where we come from, and you have to ask yourself a question. Are you someone who wants others to feel that kind of a pain? You know what I'm saying? And so your practice, a holistic approach to life. I want to ask you this question. This kind of ties up. This is tying up what I'm trying to say and
Mm-hmm.
what I am saying. Um, how do you deepen your spiritual practice so that others can kind of like maybe not follow the very exact same thing you do, but follow suit and looking for ways to deepen their spiritual practice because we got to tap into that self. We got
Mm-hmm.
to tap into our true nature, and that true nature that we are is love.
Right.
That is our true nature. We're at our core, we're love. We're love beings. And so, how do you tap into that? Because you always listen. You're glowing. Your skin is glowing. You don't look a day over 10. you know,
Thank
but
you.
you know. I mean, I hear that a lot too. But I'm looking at you. You glow,
Thank
and
you.
you look young, and you carry yourself very lightly. Like you don't have no heaviness, no burden, no work. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people look at you and probably say that to you, like, "Girl, you look like you ain't got a worry in the world." you know, what is that you do that deepens that spiritual practice? People want to look like you.
I think something that helps me to deepen my spiritual practice is just living life and every day understanding that holistically I want to improve and I never want to be in the same place that I was the day before. So with that understanding, with that purpose that I carry in my life, you know, that's why it's important for me to daily so I can get better at this, this connection, this intuition that I have with the divine, that I have with my ancestors, that I actually have when you meditate or when I meditate actually, I feel that it helps me to be in line and in balance with the oneness, right? Uh, really
The all,
all, yeah, that really
all.
is all. And a lot of times people don't understand that or have that perspective, but that's my understanding. Also,
Mm-hmm.
the lightness that you speak about, I appreciate it because it has been work. It's not easy to let things go and just let things be sometimes, especially with my personality being an Aries and all of those kinds of things. But just understanding that you can do the best that you can,
hmm
understand that you are constantly, continuously growing and in forward motion,
hmm
and having patience with yourself in that process.
Mm.
I think, sitting and meditating, which I do intentionally daily,
hmm
helps me to have and build that patience that you need to let go of things when you shouldn't be holding on to them, for you to strive to do better and not just strive, but actually make efforts, measurable
hmm
efforts every day to do better. You know,
hmm
I guess those are the things that help me to be, light and understanding. Actually, also understanding your purpose. I'm very clear on that. I understand what I'm here to do, and I'm doing it step by step every day. You know, that brings a lot of clarity, lets me release a lot of things that I don't need to be holding on to if they do not fall in line with that purpose. And I get that clarity through, meditation and prayer and being a very spiritually oriented person. So
Mm.
I guess
Mm.
that's the answer for me.
You also are. First of all, you are a student of life. because you don't just take on something and just be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I mean, you said yes so easily to me. I'm like, maybe she sees something, works. Maybe she see a person that puts the work in. I don't know,
Me.
but
Yeah, that's what it is. I went in the line with somebody who didn't, so I appreciate
yeah.
you for bringing it together.
So I said, man, I'm asking this one question here, because we're gonna take this thing to the forefront, to finish line. I want to say, and I just want to say, um, that you are a student of life.
Mhm.
And am I mistaken? Are you still a student in school, enrolled in school?
I'm not, but thank you for that to the attention, I guess. I actually just graduated in August with
Mm-hmm.
my MPH, my master's in public health. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another, thing that I'm adding to the company, my company,
Mm-hmm.
and my skills and assets and what that means, right? We can see plenty of examples of public health right now where we see people managing outbreaks, people managing emergency preparedness, people managing strategic plans to help people with mental health crisis or special populations like the elderly, those incarcerated, because a lot of times people forget about them, but they're people just like we are. All of this is public health and helping to manage those systems that allow us to be healthy and well in our best selves.
Mm-hmm.
What public health is, and that's what I want to bring to my business and also to my community and the world.
The world over. You gotta do it. We gotta bring it to the world.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
let me ask you something. Being that you just graduated, you're a student of, actual, you educate yourself in what you want to do.
Mhm.
But you also go into educating yourself in like the practices, the holistic side of life. And I just want to ask you this question. Truly, what is your strongest reason for living your purpose? What's your strongest reason?
My strongest reason for living like a purposeful life is because I want the work that I have done here to be meaningful and to build generational wealth for my little seed that's coming up and the generations behind him. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be, as my ancestors have been such a valuable asset to me because they're
Mm-hmm.
like genuinely good people. I want to be like the best ancestor, possible when it's my turn to pass on. Like, I don't feel personally, just for myself, there's any other way to live other than you have been given this task, you have been given this purpose. I don't have a choice. Like, you got to make
Mm-hmm.
it happen, because there's people that are counting on you, there's people that are watching you. I'm also the eldest of four sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always, it's not a pressure, but sometimes it is a pressure. I've always had the understanding that someone's watching you,
Yeah.
someone needs guidance. So you need to move the best way that you know how to um, be a leader, to be a good example, to be the best that you can be. So if other people are following, then they have a good reference to follow. But also it's just for like personal reasons. I have integrity. I have the Iwa Puele, which in the Yoruba tradition is good character. So I want to make sure that, every person that I touch with my company or just in general in life, they're better in some way or their life has been touched in some way because I was a part of it. So
Wow. You
that's
are you are manifesting greatness, my
thank
beloved being, and it's definitely showing and growing. I like to end off with my last three questions. I always usually ask my guests three questions. It's kind of a lightning round, but you can take your time if you want, or you can just speed through it. But I always ask like certain three questions I feel in particular to the guest. There's never the same three questions. But I do want to ask, like, where do you get your motivation from, and or who motivates and inspires Lola to be Lola?
you. Oh man, there's so many, but The most immediate reason why I get up out of the bed every morning, besides spirituality, I have a little being that I'm responsible for. So being a mother has just kind of taken that purpose to another level, Um, so he is definitely like not the only why, but like the one of the biggest whys.
The biggest one.
And the biggest why. He's why, and then also I'm a spiritual being. I understand that spirit comes first. So this spiritual purpose and calling that I speak of, that's the other why. I can't do it any other way because I've tried it not going that way and it doesn't go very well. So it doesn't ever go well. So I have to be obedient to the purpose that I have been put here for.
I'm so in agreement with you on that because I always tell people, and people that know me, listen to my podcast, know what the show is about. They know that I always preach about the self, the true self, that inner core being that's tapped into the all, that oneness. You understand? And so this is that being that has, it's like people look at me and say, well, I tell people all the time, like, I have this cloud in front of me or this haze or this fog in front of me because I can't see nothing else but my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was put here to do. And it's like whoever it was that created this, or myself, or whatever past life, they gave me this task, and I can't do nothing else. I can't see nothing else because there's a cloud in front of me, and the only thing I can see is what's right in front of me, and that's my purpose. You understand? And so I'm driven by my purpose. But I can see why you're driven. I see your why. I want to ask you the second question is, in the end, what is the end goal? And I kind of heard you allude to that in the first question, but in the end, what is the end goal? What do you want to be your legacy?
What do I want to be my legacy? I want my legacy to be about healing and helping holistically. So some people don't understand what holistically means. It means mind, body, soul, financial,
all the way around.
All the way around. Like she was a helper. She was a good person. She was a healer. That's what I want to be said. Wealth is a blessing as well, but that's not my goal as far as like financial wealth.
Yeah.
Definitely being comfortable, but that happens as I'm fulfilling the purpose, So yeah, being a helper, being a happy person, being a whole person, leaving a beautiful trail of flowers as I move through life. That's what I would love to be remembered for.
I love it. No, I love it because I see the beautiful flowers surrounding you right now. And for those who will be listening later, they understand we are on a Zoom. We're on a Zoom interview, so I can see her. She can see me. And I'm seeing these beautiful yellow, what are those, sunflowers?
Sunflowers. It's my favorite flower.
Wow, those are beautiful, beautiful flowers. And they brighten up everything around you. I can see it right now. And holistically, yes. I have a saying, a tagline it goes self, health, and well-being. Got to take care of self first. You got to, once you take care of self, that just moves right into your health. And then from your health, it's a well-being. It's a holistic life practice. And it permeates outside and everyone around you touches. And so self-health and well-being is my saying. And I love that, what you want to be your legacy. Last question I want to ask you is, what purpose is Lola's purpose in life?
What's my purpose in life? My purpose in life is to fulfill my mission. And what's coming to me right now is, because like I said, I'm an ancestor priest. There's this, a priestess. There's this old spiritual, right? And the deacons used to sing it. But, and a lot of it is kind of rambling and kind of incoherent because of how they sing it. But there's this section that says to do my master's will, right? And master can be interpreted a lot of different ways, but the master of my soul is the ultimate creator, who goes by many names, who my ancestors are a part of, and who speak through me. So to do that will, and to have that accomplished through my life, I think I'll be pleased with that.
So, real quick, I didn't forget from the beginning of the show what I said. There's a secret about you that I don't see you tap into a whole lot. And I think you are missing part of this whole thing called holistic health. And that is your beautiful, 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 beautiful songstress voice that you have. Girl, you can blow, you can sing, and you can sing like nobody's business. And when I first met you and you was doing that. You singing, and it left my jaw on the floor. It left my mouth drop on the floor. I was like, what? Because I didn't know you, but just the voice I heard, I was like, whoa, like that girl can sing. You know what I'm saying? And it took me back. So listen, y'all, if y'all meet Lola, if y'all ever get a chance to meet Lola, y'all need to ask her, like, hit a note for you, okay? Because she can sing, and I don't see you do it much, but I would love to see you do it much more, and that's okay. If, it's up your preference, but it's a beautiful voice, and I want to add on and ask, where can people find Lola Bonae? Anything, everywhere she's at. Where can people find Lola Bonae?
Okay, so I have a couple of locations. I'm so blessed that they keep growing. So my regular location here in St. Petersburg is the Meta Center on Central. It's 4554 Central Avenue, Suite F and E. So we have some treatment rooms there. Like I said, I work with a group of therapists, so we actually contract out the rooms. Also, I have been blessed to find a second home as well with the Well for Life of St. Petersburg as well. And I have not quite yet memorized their address, but it is going to be on my soon coming website. And the website is www.lblhhw.
LBLHHW?
Yes, holistic health.
Okay, HHW. Okay, cool.
Yep. So more information can come from there. And then also I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter with the business, and then also my personal pages. So
at Lola Bonae, LOLA.
Lola Bonae is my personal page. The business page is for Facebook is LBL Holistic Health and Wellness. For Instagram, it's LBL.Holistic Health. And for Twitter, it's at LBLHHW. LBL Holistic Health and Wellness. Yes, please come check me out. I appreciate the support. And also, I will be at, what's the name of the conference?
Oh, yeah, the Manifest Health Wellness Seminar. Ooh, that sounds so refreshing.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. The Manifest Health Wellness Seminar, which is coming up in July. That's July 9th and July 10th. At St. Petersburg College Gibbs Campus Library. We will be holding that. You can find those flyers on my page, and to find my page. And definitely, I'm sure you're going to be sharing the flyers some closer and closer we get. You'll be sharing them. And so we'll definitely do a show together on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? As not as a guest and an interviewee, but as a guest, a host and a co-host, to talk about what we did with it, and then and at the end of it, what we got from it. So like at the end of it all, we're gonna talk about like what we did with it, what was the vision, what we got from, what we were going into it for, and then what we came out with, even for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so that's gonna be my baby project right now for this, time up to then. So I'm focused on that, and also my podcast show. So of course, but I want to have a moment of gratitude with you. I want to share with you. I want to talk. I want to just shower you right now with appreciation. Shower you with love. Shower you with honor and just blessings and multiple blessings upon you, upon your feet, upon your path, upon your head, upon your chest, that you breathe nothing but the finest air, and that you cultivate nothing but the greatest relationships around you, and that you manifest nothing but the greatest health for yourself, for your son, and for those who are coming into your circle. I just want to just shower you more with just praise of the work that you're doing out in the community, the work that you are sharing on your online pages, helping people grow with your LBL holistic health and wellness business. And I just want to continue to see you do good. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to blossom. I can't wait till we do the wellness seminar together, because from that we're going to be doing the retreat after that. We're going to, so be ready for that. I see somebody like you very, integrated with the things that I'm doing, along with the things that you are already doing. I get it. You're a busy woman, and that's good. You're doing good stuff. You're doing a healthy wholeness thing, and that's beautiful. It's not taken away from yourself. That's how you. I think that's the best way I can end it. That's how you manage yourself, your health. Just look at her. Look at her, and you will know this is how you manage yourself. But again, thank you. Thank you for joining my show. Thank you for wanting to do the seminar coming up. I appreciate you. Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you.
Yes. And so, folks, that is the show. You know how it goes. Hey, In Pursuit of Purpose podcast season 2 is back. We are in full effect. This is the first episode of season 2. You know how I like to end this. I love you. I love me. I see you all in pursuit.
Thank you all for tuning in to season 2 of In Pursuit of Purpose podcast. Once again, go and follow Lola Bonae at all of her social media pages. Look out for the website that is to come, and just get in touch with her so you can get her services. If you really want to start, living your best self, health, and well-being lifestyle, you are going to do that by getting in touch with Lola Bonae. I'm thankful she came and joined the show to kick off season 2. And I always like to say, I love you, I love me, I love us, and I will see you all in pursuit.